network angavuze nenga mwasuze mutya. How are you my people? Kaviko karengera obansikire muri ebi baby girl, you will rock with me, keep it by my side, you will stuck with me. She done a lot for me, so I do the simple thing for her. She give me one thing, she give me one, Good morning, my people. It's a random cut talk Thursday, and today I'm going to try and talk the law. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge. That's a disclaimer. But I'm going to try and dissect an issue that I got on TikTok, and an issue that people kept saying, and you get a CB money, and they gave me a case to use as a reference. So that's what we're going to be using as a reference today. Random cut talk Thursday. And the question today is that if you bought a car from Arthur and you drove it away, and 20 minutes later, or let's say 30 minutes later, the engine blew, who is responsible for the repairs? I said you are responsible because now it's your car, yeah? And people kept saying Amateka, Simanya, the law of sale, bichi. And then someone gave me reference to a case of Bakeine versus YUASA Investments Limited. Nengano kulisoma kuba manyeji echibera mateka ako nebanka ko kulisoma as a reference. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Arthur, you are running at a high speed. Are you late? Council Patrick, you'll be surprised. Right now I'm doing 40 kilometers per hour. 40 kilometers per hour. And 40 kilometers per hour on a highway like this Guru highway. Of course, Jibaita Bombo Road now. Tenda foka Guru highway. Zenga Siduka, you'll be surprised. Ebisinga. Kati waliwe tubadde nga balaga kapande 80 kilometers per hour. I was doing 60. I was actually doing 50. In a way, I would have overtaken, but the line was solid, so I can't overtake at all on this good line. Yeah, but anyway, today, Council Patrick, that case of Gumanyi Bakeine versus YUASA Investments, Council Patrick, Ogomusango Gumanyi. It would be nice to have someone so that we share. Do you know that case, Council Patrick? The Bakeine versus YUASA Investments Limited, where Honorable Bakeine, who was member of parliament at that time, bought a car from YUASA Investments, and the case ngeda bid. So Council Patrick, you remember your case? All questions are for tomorrow. Today to Beda Muchibo's random cut talk Thursday. We talk, we don't ask questions. Council Patrick, you're very right. It involved an MP, Honorable Bakeine. Yeah, the case involved an MP, Honorable Bakeine. Honorable Bakeine claims that she went to buy a car at YUASA, and the recommendation came from Honorable Tinka Simire. But YUASA Investment Limited denied and said Honorable Tinka Simire was not even part of the case. You get it? So we're going to be talking about the case of that case, Council Patrick, and maybe you could also weigh in as a lawyer. You know exactly what. Probably you could help us tell us the law of sale. Council Patrick, if for example, let's start by you telling us what the law says. If for example I bought a car, okay, Council Patrick, let's say you buy a car from Arthur and you buy a car from me, and tomorrow, okay, let's say you buy a car from me today morning, and in the evening the engine blows. Yeah, and we have even written in the agreement that you have invested like you have inspected the vehicle and accepted, you have inspected the vehicle and declared it to be of worthy condition, and you have said this car is in the condition that I need it to be, very good condition, so I will pay for it. And I also give you the vehicle, you give me my money, and you take the vehicle today morning, and in the evening the vehicle breaks down. Who is responsible according to the law, Council Patrick? Let's just start from there. Who is responsible? Yeah, so guys, Council Patrick is giving us an interpretation of a situation where he buys a car from me in the morning, gives me my money, drives off. Let's say he goes even to Uganda where he operates, and the vehicle breaks down in the evening while he is in Uganda. So who is responsible according to the law for the repairs of that car? Council Patrick, over to you. I woke up in a good mood, but I'm feeling so good. Dish out today, sweet out today. I make a laugh. I make a wine. If you feel like getting down, come to me, girl. Feel like touching on, dancing, me, girl. I'll make you one, make you one, baby. I'll make you smile. I'll make you feel nice. After that, I'll take you to my place where we will play. Or before we play. If you're feeling good, jump. Good morning, my people. How are you? Jump. If you're feeling good, you and me and you, we're gonna make them jump. We're gonna make them dance. Jump. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. So guys, this random car talk Thursday, we are trying to dissect, to understand the law. And Council Patrick, I'm thinking Council Patrick is still typing, trying to interpret to us if he bought a car from Arthur in the morning, drove it to Uganda, and the car broke down in Uganda in the evening. Let's say the engine blows in Uganda, or the engine knocks in Uganda. Who is responsible for the repairs according to the law? There are a number of laws there. Katika Council Patrick agenda zikwata azifunze at his interpretation as a lawyer. Yeah, and for the guys that don't know, Council Patrick is a lawyer that practices in Uganda. So eastern part of Uganda, your lawyer, Council Patrick would definitely be of help to you. And he's giving us, and we are going to, of course, be discussing my interpretation of the case of Bakeine versus YUASA Investments Limited, in which actually Honorable Bakeine was awarded, won the case actually. Honorable Bakeine did win the case. Nebamuwa $1,803,000, nebamuwa $1,15,000 is damages. Which damages are normally, I think, part of the inconveniences. So because Honorable Bakeine had paid 50 million, the judge said YUASA Investments needed to pay back the 50 million and also give Honorable Bakeine about 38 point something million shillings that the plaintiff used to hire cars for the time that they did not have a car, and also give them damages of about 15 million. But before I do that, Council Patrick is giving us his understanding as a lawyer of who should be taking charge of the repairs of a car in case, for example, if he bought a car from me in the morning and in the evening it breaks down. Already he's telling us the law of sale of goods and supply of services begins with the provision that where goods are in a deliverable state and earmarked, then in the absence of the intention to the contrary of the property in Council Patrick, use normal English. Council Patrick, please use normal English. In the presence of estopero, that English we may not be understanding. Just tell us normal English that this is the law says according. Council Patrick. For me, that is one of the reasons why I did not like business law. That English. Actually, the other reason I did not like business law was because I'm not good at cramming things. I'm not a good crammer. So and then with these cases, you had to cram a lot of stuff. I don't even know how I passed business law. I think being a lawyer is one of the hardest things. But you guys go back and reply. So Council Patrick is giving us his interpretation. If someone bought a car from Arthur in the morning and they were going to Uganda and the car broke down in Uganda, the engine blows in the evening or the gearbox blows in the evening, who is responsible for the repairs? He's giving us the lawyer's perspective. Yeah, Council Patrick is giving us the lawyer's perspective. And then I'll try to dissect the case of Bamisani. Honorable. Okay, I'll keep referring to the plaintiff as a member of parliament. Honorable. YUASA is so because YUASA has been but then YUASA since I was growing up. In each part of which they were in Nakawa, they in the Kankuiteko, Subaru Jifuga Polini. How do you drive Subaru at 40 kilometers per hour? Oingawa Paso. Council Patrick at Wado Luzungo Rabulijo. The car passes to the buyer of the car, and so does the risk. Thank you very much, Council Patrick. As long as the buyer accepts the car and takes it. Council Patrick Badolo Soluzungu Ramoromu Court. Thank you very much, Council Patrick. Munzikirize bannange mbajjukize eti Council Patrick gyali mu Eastern Uganda. If you're a person from Eastern Uganda and require legal counsel, bagita counsel, counsel, you require legal counsel. Council Patrick gyali eyiganga akakkala emirimu gy'abalwoya. Council atuvuge mpula, the intention to the contrary tetujja kubitika. Nyina ebintu bye nasomye mu musango ogwo ng'oluzungu ddwo luganye n'embibuuka n'engende wali ebinkwatako. So Council Patrick, thank you very much. Council Patrick has told us that the moment you buy a car from Arthur in the morning and you accept the car and you take it, yeah, that the risk has also passed to you because the car now is yours. That's exactly what I was talking about in the TikTok video. But apparently ku TikTok wanaye wali abantu bo balowooza olw'okuba omuntu azze n'ayogera yeefuula mugezi okitegeera nti ayagala basinga bugezi. I think there are so many like law students and lawyers that want to interpret. So they gave me this case, Bakeine versus YUASA Investments Limited. So guys, because of the budduka, let's get into it. Guys, mwasuze mutya, mwasuze bulungi bannange. Normally when I have a topic like this that is really hot on my mind, munzikiriza amanya ngenda gasoma ngamba siibula. Naye nga mwebale kubeera ku live broadcast namwe abali mu Kamoli, thank you very much. Yeah, mbajjukiza nga ntandika topic y'olwaleero. Ntandika topic y'olwaleero. Guys, Council Patrick gyali eyiganga. Council Patrick gyali eyiganga. If you need legal counsel mu Jinja iganga, our district eziddako Mbale, awo district nzeerabidde ezirikaawo awo Namutumba. Namutumba nno nkyogera because mpulira nnyo nga bakyogera, but I don't know where Namutumba is. But all those districts that are nearby there, Council Patrick can offer you legal counsel. So now, the case of Bakeine versus YUASA Investments. Let me try to tell you what I remember on this case. I read it last night. I slept at midnight. I was trying to read it because I saw a lot of people that thought sitting Irabi and Jogira. So I went ahead and read the case, because normally when someone is trying to justify that the seller of a car needs to pay for that for repairs of the car, they have some legal knowledge, then they bring this case, Bakeine versus YUASA Investments. And why they brought the case is because Honorable Bakeine did win the case. Yawangura, the court offered her 83 million shillings, and of the 83 million shillings, it means YUASA Investments was supposed to get her a car that is equivalent to the car that they could have given her in 2012. Now, one thing you guys need to note, the transaction between Honorable Bakeine and YUASA Investments started in December 2012. Okay? Honorable Bakeine went to YUASA Investments in 2012 on 9th December and expressed interest in buying a Land Cruiser, a 2004 Land Cruiser V8. Okay? And YUASA Investments had only one Land Cruiser in the bond. Okay? And she liked the Land Cruiser. And they agreed on an amount of 68 million shillings. Yeah? And then they went. Then I think on 12th December, Honorable Bakeine came and paid 50 million shillings in cash. No, on 9th, I think on 9th December, Honorable Bakeine paid 20 million shillings down payment, and YUASA Investments started working on the number plate. Okay, on 12th December, yeah, no, on 15th December, Honorable Bakeine, I think between 12th and 15th, Honorable Bakeine paid the 30 million shillings again in cash. The balance then was 18 million shillings, which she did not have. So the two people agreed, that's YUASA Investments and Honorable Bakeine, agreed that she would pay two post-dated checks, each of 9 million shillings. Okay? And on 15th December, the husband of Honorable Bakeine came and tested the vehicle in the parking lot of YUASA Investments in the bond. And on testing the vehicle, the husband of the plaintiff expressed to the person who was in charge of the sale, who is a broker, Webaita James, in the case. Now, I want you guys to take note of the facts. When these people were expressing interest, someone showed them the cars. And in normal cases, it's the broker. For the guys that have done inspection with us, you will note that normally there is someone that moves us around the bonds. This is the person that knows the owners of the cars. Okay? Now, whether we like it or not, this person is the agent of the bond owner. Apparently, abamanyi buli alina ekika ky'emmotoka abeera employee wa bondi ezo. Baffe bwe tukola n'oyo omuntu tetumuwa ssente tafuna commission. Ye alina bw'akimaliriza ne nannyini mmotoka. Okitegedde? Now, in actual sense, that person is an agent of the bond. So, when the husband of Honorable Bakeine, no, it did not take 12 years, it took 2 years, 1 year actually, because of Msangwagwa in 2014. Now, it took 1 year. Now, what happened is, when the husband comes in the case, in the bond, to test the vehicle before he takes it, he notes that the vehicle does not have power. He told the James, who is a broker in my case in Chimanyi, tabera direct employee of the car owner, but katife esaawa eno I think abantu bano balongosaamu ne bafuna abantu bebakola nawe bebawa ssente buli mwezi. Okitegeera naye dda balinga tebabawa babanga ba broker. Okay, so we are testing emmoloka eno n'agamba the person that was showing them the car emmoloka teyina maanyi. Even the James in the case tests the car and he accepts emmoloka eno teyina maanyi. But you know, that car had been in the bond for a year. And you know, right now, we are happy. We are lucky, by the way. I thank the government for this. Right now, it's very hard to find a car that will stay in the bond for a full year. Why? Because of taxation issues. So the bond owners have to sell their cars as soon as possible. Because right now, emoroka za bili mwena tezina kuba mu bond. Ate next day za bili kumi zijja okubanga tezina kuba mu bond. So yensonga lwaki n'okula kweyongedde. So James accepts that the moroka teyina maanyi. But then he tells Honorable Bakaine's husband that, you know what, the car has been in the bond for more than a year. Maybe it needs general service. Tugende ku Shell bakole service ejja kutereera. Okay? Now, mark you, the fact that the husband has already told the agent that, you know what, this vehicle doesn't have power, I don't want to take it. I'm imagining that's what he said. Rakubanti, if he said we don't record the conversations. Then James convinces the person that, you know what, let's take it for service. So Honorable Bakaine's husband takes the car for service at Shell Chibuye, where they did service, and they spent about 566,000 shillings on service. Again, the vehicle did not have power. Okay? And then that is when James tells the Honorable Bakaine's husband, you know what, today, because that was 15th, tomorrow was a Sunday, it was a Saturday. He tells the husband, you know what, bring this vehicle back to the bond on Monday and it will be sorted, because tomorrow is a Sunday, the bond will not be open. Now, I need you to note that even as they go for service, the husband of Honorable Bakeine, the buyer and plaintiff, already has gone with the agent of the seller to the petrol station for service. Chitegeza, he's already not satisfied with the condition of the vehicle. Before he takes the vehicle, Chitegeza, nayenga ate note, as he takes the vehicle, baba wa release note, over delivery note, Chitegeza mutute motoka. Nayera, on that, before he took the car out of the bond, yaliana zente moroka eno teyensanyusiza. Okay? So, on Monday, the husband of Honorable Bakeine and the Honorable Bakeine and their lawyer, they take back the car to the bond. Okay? And YUASA Investments Limited, okay, accepts the vehicle. Nebagamba, you know what? We should get an independent person to come and inspect this vehicle at Buli the YUASA. Now, the independent person comes, inspects the vehicle, and makes a report and says the things that need to be repaired. And one of the things that need to be repaired or replaced is the engine, because the engine had a knock. Okay? Now, Honorable Bakeine told the defendant, who is YUASA Investments Limited, that I've not even driven the car. The car was still in your possession when we noticed the problems. I need a new engine or a new car. Okay? Now, YUASA Investments does not want to buy a new engine. YUASA Investments says we want to overhaul the engine. Honorable Bakeine, you know, when Busa won't want to be preparing and so YUASA Investment says we are not going to buy a new engine because the new engine is definitely expensive. We are going to overhaul. And Honorable Bakeine refuses the car, leaves it there. Until you put a new engine, I don't want the car. Even the money stays there. Okay? Now we get into 2013. The Honorable Bakeine hasn't picked investments, acknowledge that they received back the car for repairs. Okay? And then they refuse. Honorable Bakeine says, I even hired a vehicle for that period of time until I came to court. And I was hiring a vehicle at a rate of 450,000 shillings every day. And that amount almost went to 40-something million shillings. You get. So, afterwards, in 2013, around I think January or February or March, Honorable Bakeine goes to court and files a case against YUASA Investments. She wants a refund of the money she paid to YUASA Investments. She also wants a refund of the money she used to hire a vehicle to use to go back from Parliament to her constituency to do her job as MP. And she also wants damages because she was distressed during the period of hiring a vehicle. She should have had her own vehicle, but she did not have her own vehicle because YUASA Investments refused to deliver. So ogogwe musango gwarupebwa mu court. Now bwekumala okuloopebwa baloya ne bajja ne boogera buli omu n'ayogera buli omu, they quoted cases like they do, and in the end in 2014 the case was reported in 2013, and in 2014 the judge gave his judgment and awarded the plaintiff. The plaintiff got, first of all, the money, 50 million she paid to YUASA Investments had to be paid back to her, and about another 38-point-something million shillings, which she used in hiring vehicles, and again damages of about 15 million shillings. So I don't know, Council Patrick, you must have read that case. I don't know if I'm correct about what transpired in the case, but that's what happened in the case. And so this is the case that people are quoting. Okay, let me see some of the comments, especially from Council Patrick Asiku, and you guys that have heard what I said, what I talked about, what I said about the case, to see if we understand how special this case is and why plaintiff actually did win the case. Okay, guys, in Uganda we have scenarios in that case, what the law says and what Ugandans say. Exactly, Nathan. Let's see. Council Patrick is saying, but in some instances where the buyer relies on the seller's skill and judgment and the purpose is known to the seller, there is warrant and that the car has to be fit for the purpose of purchase. Yes, Council Patrick, and in the case, YUASA Investments claimed that they were not told the purpose of the vehicle. You get it? But yes, now in the case and the facts that came about, the buyer totally relied on the seller's judgment. Why? Because the buyer did not even bring a mechanic to do inspection. You get it? So and accordingly, according to the law, according to the facts here, this was a Japanese used vehicle, which is almost considered new in Uganda. You get it? So yes, maybe the buyer depended on the seller's judgment. That might actually pass. Maybe it did pass. But in these contracts, there are warranties where sellers exclude liabilities through exemption clauses. Yeah, but Council Patrick, I saw what the judge wrote, and the judge wrote that according to the contract they had, everything, all the risks had passed on to the buyer. But Council Patrick, I want us to remember one thing, that the honorable member's husband tested the vehicle in the bond, in the parking lot of YUASA Investments, and noted there before taking the vehicle that the vehicle did not have power. And the agent, who is I think a broker, told the husband of the Honorable Bakeine that, you know what, the vehicle has parked in the bond for more than a year, So it needs general service and then it will work. I'm thinking they did service of the engine, they did service of the gearbox, the injectors and all those things. And at the end of the day, still he did not have power. Where the husband told the agent of the director of the company that, you know what, I don't think we can take this guy, he doesn't have power. But then it was a Saturday, so the logical thing was to return the vehicle on a Monday. So the vehicle wasn't even driven. Good morning, guys. So guys, now that you've had the facts of the case according to what I read, what do you guys think? Do you think that YUASA Investment should have bought a new engine for that car because the engine knocked? Yeah, YUASA Investment should have bought a new engine for the car, or the buyer, who is Honorable Bakeine, should have bought the engine for herself. Yeah, so that's the case that we are talking about today. Edwin Agamba, first time I see, okay, Subaru responsible. That cross port in front of you. Chintumak, good morning. Okay, guys, I'm waiting to see what you think about that case so that I compare it with the normal things that happen in Uganda. Zimbabwe, lwaki ebiseera ebisinga mu Uganda you don't have warranty or guarantee from any of the buyers. I also have a contract here. I have an agreement that was signed by one of the people that we bought a car with. Okay, and I'll tell you what is in that agreement, what is normally on the receipts of the cars that you people buy from the bonds. And you'll understand that these agreements and receipts are drawn by lawyers. Okay, by the lawyers, and these lawyers know these cases. So about the mokora receipt empia, the agreements empia, babikola, but they have the other thing in mind. Of course, you guys, first tell me what you think about this case. YUASA Investments yali inogura engine empia, oba Honorable Bakeine yali genze ne yemalire ebizibu. Guys, proud Catholic, omusango gwagwera mu court, era the judge declared that the plaintiff was supposed to be paid. He awarded and 15 million in damages. Nathan Agamba, Brian M. Agambe, YUASA should have given the plaintiff another car. Now, you guys, I want you to note that in YUASA bond, there was only one vehicle at the time that that person bought the vehicle. So anyway, had some replacement by Tebajirina. In Uganda, the sellers don't want to make losses by giving warranties. That's why they say once goods are sold are not returnable. Since the seller accepted the fact that the vehicle was faulty, then YUASA had to buy the engine since it was still in YUASA's possession. So it was the seller's responsibility to buy the new engine. Okay, thank you very much, Antonio. YUASA, they had to buy the new engine at first than paying all the charges. Exactly. Zenange, I find that, okay, let me just say, me, I think it's the seller who was supposed to buy the new engine, not the buyer, because the buyer discovered that the engine was not okay. Okay? You guys are trying to understand the law now. You guys are trying to understand how these things work now. But the problem is that the agreements that you guys sign when you go to buy vehicles are different from the agreement. They're a little bit tougher than the agreement Honorable Bakeine signed. And also, you'll find that the situations that exist when you go to buy cars. In Uganda, most car sellers babitiwa they make agreements in favor of them. Exactly. That's why in the Nabagamba, bwe tugenda ogula emmoroka naddala zino enkadde ng'ogenze gula emmoroka ng'eyo nuwe parking zaawe, I write the agreements by hand. Okay? Era yensonga lwaki ebiseera ebisinga bw'oba ogenda ogula emmoroka nga nkimanyi ejja kusumbuwa, nze sibibaamu. Era I tell you, nze sigenda teekako mukono gwange saagala ogambe nze nakola inspection. Okitegeera, there are people that have, for example, said nze njagala Honda genda ogule emmoroka yo sijja bibaamu. Okitegeera, actually one of my mechanics ayina emmoroka zaatayagala zaŋŋamba ate yo togigula, era nga bwe nnemerako agamba nze sibiriimu. Okitegeera, ate nze sibiriimu, I would actually say don't buy that car. Naye gwe bw'oba olemeddeko gwamanyi naye sibiriimu. Okitegeera, because yakimanyi nti emmoroka eyo ejja kumpa obuzibu. Did they sign any agreement before taking it over nedda? Mu kugitwala wali, they did not sign any agreement, no. But the husband to the plaintiff already discovered that the vehicle had a problem nga tebannajja mmoroka mu bondi, and omuntu yali abayambako ku that purchase naye n'akkiriza n'agamba manyi emmoroka eno erina obuzibu. Okitegeera muganda wange. So I find that kati my interpretation kati kandabe tuyitewo katuyite eno. So I find that ogwo omusango ogwo mugulaba gulina facts ezigwawula ku misango emirala, zigwawula ne ku musango gwe nafunye ku TikTok, in a comment on TikTok, where the lady drove the car for 20 kilometers and the engine blew. Let me tell you, omusango guno, the thing that makes it special is that the faults were discovered before this person drove the car out of the bond. So technically, the seller, YUASA Investments Limited, was responsible for that car when the faults were discovered. Secondly, the managing director of YUASA Investments Limited accepted the fact that the car had faults. The trouble came when the managing director of YUASA Investments, even after accepting that the car had issues, refused to buy a new engine for the vehicle when the plaintiff needed just the new engine. Because the plaintiff, Honorable Bakeine, said nze tonkanikira yingine emmoroka naguze empya, teekamu engine empya, nze kyenjagala, ate YUASA Investments neegaana, aweewaavu obuzibu. It just could have been easier for YUASA Investments to put a new engine, because baite balina mmoroka ndala gye bamuwa. Otegeera, and that's literally why the judge offered because ono yawawa omusango teyazibuwaza bintu, yagamba oli nze ngulya engine endala ogiteeke mu mmotoka, emmoroka naguze empya. There is no reason why I buy a new car from the bond and then I drive a car with an overhauled engine. You get it? You just buy a new engine and put it in the car. YUASA Investments refused, even after acknowledging that, you know what, I sold you a car that had a problem. Now let me try to compare it with the issue that I got on TikTok. The issue that I got on TikTok was of a lady saying she bought a car and 20 kilometers away from the bond, and I'm thinking she might also be lying. It wasn't just 20 kilometers. She's just trying to make sure that the distance is less. That 20 kilometers away from the bond, the engine blew. That who is responsible? Now let's start off. The car she's talking about must have been a Ugandan used vehicle. Secondly, 20 kilometers away from the bond. Yeah, I normally tell people, when you buy a car, call a service. Immediately, if you buy the car, no jifurumya bondi, tovuga the kilometer makumi abiri nga tokoze service. Esobola okubanga engine ebadde service bako mukola last year no jitta. Secondly, between 0.0 to 20 kilometers osobola okuvuga emmoroka obi n'ogikubya engine. Do you guys accept or not? You get it? Because some people drive really badly. Omuntu asobola okuvuga emmoroka kilomita 2 n'akubya engine, n'akubya gearbox, engine n'agiyiwa oil. Okitegeera? Secondly, the fact that you drive the car out of the bond, accepting that it's in good condition, toyina ogenda kujja wa muntu akuguzizza mmoroka omugambe emmoroka nagivuze wano nga nnamu, ngenze katugeze tuli kawempe, nagivuze okuva ekawempe nga nnamu, ngenzo okutuuka mu kibuga Kampala yingini ng'ekubye mpe emmotoka endala. That can never happen. Teri agenda kuwa mmotoka ndala ng'ogamba nti nagivuze okuva mu kibanda kyo nga nnamo naye ngenza okutuuka ekawempe yingini neekuba kati mpe emmotoka endala. That is impossible. Era ekyo n'okitwala mu kkooti bagenda kukuwangula. Osegera because wavudde mu bondi ng'okkiriza nti emmotoka nnamu kati ovuga otya 20 kilometers. Let me give you another example. This happened to one of my people here. We bought a Subaru from the bond. We bought a Subaru from the bond. Mweze mwita Subaru katomanyi kati engeri gye njogera nnyo ebintu by'amateeka kati. I'm a land colleague with the Council Patrick. We bought a Subaru today ng'olwaleero. We drove it to my office, had an alarm tracker installed, and then the guy that bought the car went and slept somewhere in Boyogerere. The next morning, the person that bought the car claims that he woke up in the morning, checked the water levels in the radiator, and the water levels were okay, or he topped up, and then drove the car up to Iganga. Okay? Now, when he reached Iganga, the car overheated. And then he called me after the car has overheated. But I don't know what happened. The buyer should reduce money from me. I mean the seller. This is totally different. You bought a car from Kampala yesterday in Kampala. You drove the car the next day up to Uganda. It overheated. There is no car that overheats and you drive it from Nakawa in the bond and you drive it to Bombo Road and it doesn't overheat. That car was in good condition. In the morning, what we discovered later is that when this person opened the radiator in the morning to check water levels, he did not replace the cap properly. So as he drove from Kampala to Iganga, the water kept reducing. And by the time he reached Iganga, there was no water in the radiator, which made the car overheat. It cannot be the fault of the seller. Kati mukirabe ekyo bwe kiri ekyenjawulo n'ekya Honorable Bakeine. Ne bw'ogenda mu kkooti tosobola kuwangula musango ogwo. It might have been the same issue with the person that drove the car from the bond for 20 kilometers. That in those 20 kilometers, a lot could have happened. You could have overrevved the vehicle. Okay? You could have knocked the cranks and the oil gotten out. You could have overheated the vehicle. A lot could have happened. Ndoza mulaba bwe byawukana ekya Honorable Bakeine eyalaba ebizibu ebyali mu mmoloka ng'emmoloka ekyali mu bondi naawe agivuze n'ogifulumya bondi emmoloka neefuna obuzibu afterwards. Gwe bw'ogenda mu kooti ojja kwesanga ng'ate gwe wawaabidde gw'osasudde. Kale katulabe katulabe me, I think it's the seller who is supposed to buy. Okay, bond cars ain't new, so there would be no warranty, but needed critical inspection before taking the car. Sometimes in life, we make things complicated for ourselves. The company would have been better buying a new engine. Exactly. I also think that YUASA complicated the situation. Singa bakwata million 18 oba 2 ne bagula engine. Ono omuntu abasasula millions zaabwe 18 zaali zisigaddeyo. Balikoze loss. But they would not have made a loss as big as what they made after going to court. You can imagine they paid their lawyers. Now they are supposed to, according to the case, they are supposed to pay the lawyers of the plaintiff. They are supposed to pay damages 15 million shillings to the plaintiff and also give the plaintiff another car and give the balance of the money because the court offered gave the plaintiff 80-something million shillings. Okay, so but the YUASA investment was supposed to give her a car. And if the car was not 8 million shillings, then give a balance of the money to her. You can imagine omuntu ajja mu bondi n'agula emmotoka million 68 bw'agenda mu kkooti ne bakugamba muwe emmotoka million 8 bw'oba tolina emmotoka million 8 muwe million 7 omala ne 18 ozimuwe. Amateeka ganyuma bannange. You get it? In Uganda, most car sellers babitiibwa. They make, okay, Did they sign an agreement? Yes. YUASA reps knew the car had been in their bond for a long time. It was only logical to know that the car might have some faults, so it was only sensible to fix it or refund her money. Exactly. They should have refunded her money or choose another type of car. They did not have Land Cruiser. So there was no way for them to give her another car. And guys, for the Subaru that I've told you about Jetwagura in Nakawa, nanyini moroke yatunde moroke eyo yasalirako n'omuvubuka ye yagula Subaru n'amusalirako oba million namba naye ate era omuvubuka yagaana okusasula okumalayo. And it's good that this buyer had the capability of fighting and following up the case. Most times these companies take advantage of buyers in such scenarios. Exactly. And it's a thing I talked about in the video. Ningambo olio muchala, honorable member of parliament. And by the way, guys, by the time of this case, yari achari mu parliament. Yari achafuno musaragwa parliament. Yari innocent. Arthur, it's like when you go to buy a car and discover it has traffic tickets worth 1 million. You deduct that money from what is supposed to be paid to the seller. YUASA in this case had to buy the engine. Another problem, when we go to buy a car, there is some excitement that comes when a buyer sees the car and signs the agreement without even reading. And even if you read the agreements cannot be changed in the bond. But it's important for you to check for faults in the bond and see them. Okiriziganye n'oli nti onobikyusa bino nti ye nga bwe bakola Honorable Bakeine ne bawe balaba faults oli owa YUASA nakkiriza nti ebyo birwadde we bitugenda bikola. Okitegeera. In this case it's different because the buyer is rich. What if it was a layman? YUASA was going to win the case. Anti ebya Uganda obimanyi. Anti kisinzira kye nabagambye banange mwebale kutegeera abantu ba YouTube mutegeera waliwo abantu ba TikTok nabanyonyodde ekintu kino balimi okukitegeera waliwo yaza ata weefula ategeera ojja kweswaza. Kumbe people were having money in 2013. Me, I'm going for my UCE. I was 17 years at that time. 2013 omukyala yali yagula emmoroka 1 year ago ya million nkaga mu 8 oddaawo. And other some car buyers are first time drivers. It's possible to spoil. Exactly. Thank you very much. Kati ngono omwami wa Subaru gwembagambe, it was his first car. Bwe yakebera amazi ku machana atasaanikira bulungi. Emmoroka ina amazi bagabugu gatokota. Kitegeeza it can evaporate amazi ne go mu radiator. To me, the buyer was entitled to a car and was motorable. He was entitled to a good car and he never went to buy a car with defects. Thank you very much, Council. But if he knew it had a problem, why did he buy it? The court was fair. He did not buy the car that was defective. Guys, Mukese no Mujiraba, proud Catholic. Honorable Bakeine went to buy the car. She did not check the car, she just paid. On the day of picking the car, her husband went to pick the car. And the husband discovered that the car had problems. They are in the bond. Yeah. So the problems were discovered before the car left. The fact that it spent more than a year in the bond, the seller already knew that what issue with the car was. Probably the buyers didn't take it for that reason. Exactly. Thank you, Saith. And you know, this is Okiria Samuel. Yes, it's possible that other buyers had not bought this car because it had problems. Okay? And because this buyer, Honorable Bakeine, did not come with a mechanic for inspection. Yeah, pre-purchase inspection. The fact that she did not go with a mechanic or a qualified person to do inspection, yeah, she ended up buying a car that had defects. Ontejeire olunyoro mulira bwendu tegeera ontejereire office eyo nkola n'abanyoro tebanjigiriza bulungi bunyoro banjigiza tebagala njige I will colonize bunyoro. Kati olunyoro bwe mpudanga njogera lwa bitege nyina abanyoro benkola nabo ku office wa 10 moroka yeganye wa 10 lere moroka ebiganye abanyoro benkola nabo ku office olunyoro banjigiriza lwa bitege kati mbo abanyoro babagamba okitegedde tukitegererire okay tegere Antonio mpulira I'm a munyoro first class. Anyway guys, so that's the law. Your case yo mujira eri very special atera kese ekirala ekigifula special nti Honorable Bakeine yali akyali mu parliament yalina ne sente ziwaaba musango ng'asobola okumaintaininga abalooya for a year basigale nga bagenda mu kooti okitegeera ate era omusango guno gwali sensitive nti member wa parliament yaguloopa abakuba muntu wa bulijjo bwesanga tegwalifunye attention gye gwafuna. All in all, we need pre-purchase inspection. Otherwise, if you're not rich, exactly ng'ogenda ogula motoka milioni 68 wakolowooza ku ttaka lya kitaawo nga osigaza milioni 12 ate olowooza balooyo n'obasobola okujjako ng'ofunye looya nga wa pro bono. I want for the love of cars wegiramu nti for the love of cars bwe munaadonating asobola okuyambako abantu abatalina ssente naye nga babatekinze advantage of. Okitegeera nti owaaye kati nga bwolaba keesi ya Honorable Bakeine nti for the love of cars in the beginning covers the cases kasita tukakasa balooya bafe abatu advising and council Patrick ne bagamba ogwo omusango gulimu egumba tujja kuwangula for we cover the costs kooti bwe twawaadinga for the love of cars sente zaffe ne zikomawo n'amagoba amatonotono sente ne zidda mu kofa za for the love of cars. So when it comes to ebintu bino bwe biti kati waliwo ebintu ebimu ebibadde tebisomesebwa abantu nga tebabimanyi bateeka oli amugamba Honorable Bakeine yawangula omusango naawe ojja kuwangula naye ng'ate the cases are different. Gwe moroka wagifulumya n'ogivuga weeks 2 bw'ogenda mu kooti obviously after 2 weeks tolina bw'owangula musango emoroka wagivuga weeks 2 mwezo weeks 2 osobola okwonoona okujjako nga neyakuguza emoroka naye yali akimanyi nti emoroka yalina ebizibu. Okitegeera yensonga lwaki omuntu yaguze emoroka asobola okukkiriza emoroka eyo with the defects n'akuddiza ssente zo. Oba si kyekyo omuntu ainspecting emoroka ye n'alaba nga bw'akuddiza ssente essaawa eno bwe woogikomerezaawo asobola ogitunda more than the money ze yagikuguza. Okitegeera weebiri. By the way, there are times we have bought a car with someone ne tuddayo mu bonding ng'ate ya bbeeyi okusinga bwe twagigula kate ne twagala tugule eyo oli kati there is possibility that you take back the car oli n'akuddiza ssente zo oba waakagenda n'akolamu byakoze n'agiguza omulala ku ssente zisinga gwe ze wagigula n'asigala ng'era akola. Gwe n'olowooza omukozeseza loosi n'ogenda ng'ocelebratinga ogenda okudda mu bondi ogula emmotoka y'emu nga yabbeeyi okusinga gye wagula. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So and majority of the time you guys don't even read those agreements. Musaininga busaininga nze nsoma ebintu nsoma nnyo. Actually it's me who reads the agreements of the people we buy the cars with. Nze nsoma agreements ezo. Kubanga ngenda mujjako empapula ne ngamba kansomemu kati nga mulazi ne empapula ze nasigaza wale eza paso set eri omukyala yazeerabira kuba ndali nzisoma but they are safe with me. Nazitereka bulungi ate de muruka bali mugikola transfer kasaba gikola transfer wona wanaitire Kampala empapula zina ku ofisi yange agenda nga bazimuwa. But then car inspection is a must whether it's a new car inspection is virtual. By no mugenda ku zero mileage muruka za zero mileage to inspecting ndaka mu kitundu obuze muruka ya milioni 12 oyagala fe tukucharging emitwalo 45 nyingira ntya mu bond inspecting muruka milioni 2 inspecting emitwalo na kikamu kitundu mwabagenda mu zero mileage kamu kitundu ezo force zibanzibu za kulaba ezo tu inspecting anyo banange tukola omulimu gw'amaanyi mu muruka ezempya kamu kitundu. Another take home point is having supportive marriage partners. Exactly. Sometimes the sales know the faults in their products, but they always choose okubyegjako to the buyer akafirem. Exactly. Good morning, Chris Fitness. Now, Mr. Arthur, you're making me scared of bond cars. But then the thing is, Honorable never inspected the car. If it wasn't the husband to test, I think she would have. Exactly. Me Arthur, in 2012, wali tokola inspection because senga all this didn't happen. In 2012 nali nange nakavugula kibina yange naye nakavuga kibina yange emyaka 2 naye nze kibina yange saadi kola inspection naye najigula ku muntu gwe nali nesiga. Of course nayo yankolako ku mikono awo bu oxygen sensor nga bufaafaafa awo bu body sensor ngenywa actually nabikanika ebyo nga sinagigula ngeno malo bikanika ngamba anti wange nayo manyi kankuwemu sente ngandaba mukanikire mu kanjipotereriza nangamba athampe milioni 3 ngendo okuyitako mu bantu abakulu nga baga obye bubbi sasula nensasula 3 zange so nange mu 2010 nayinawo obusatu mu 2010 nayinawo obukadde bwange busatu ezamafuta simanyizo bwe naye obusatu bwagigula na buyina then around 2012 nenkola permit nengulawo emipiira awo 2011 nentomera Mazda y'omukazi nandyamu emitwalo 54 abantu bedda bamanyira fulwa amaalo Mazda nga tumanyi mmotoka ya bbeeyi kati zine bwogimpeera bwerere Mazda sigivuga olaba ne Toyota mulimu mmotoka zisivuga ne bwogimpeera bwerere naye Mazda sigivuga. You can't colonize us for abanyote tusoboka. Kakati na abantu benkola nabo bagamba we can colonize you. Ninja nenfuko omukama. Mugagai muloza broadcast tewedde. Muloza broadcast tewedde neche manyi muize. In Uganda we need a ministry of commerce that protects the consumers. And mwe ba consumer mu YUASA government temwagala na sasula misolo. Omuntu ajja nagule moloka milioni 4 nga bamubuza sente zijagamba farmer nga tasasula income tax. Kati government ekutaasa ekinga tosasula income tax. Okitegeera. Other countries consumers are protected in the search faults are always recalled and the seller they make repairs. Actually Chris Fitness, this is different. They are recalled because the cars are new. Era in those countries era nabagule moroka enkadde ngeziringe ya YUASA era nabo tebali protected as much. 2010 I was in P7 Arthur wali wevuga sebo 2012 in S2 nga sebo oli mu kibina atendo 2012 goza nali mu kibina naina akayongeza naina 10 nali nguze kaldina ite mngambyo ya mloza mkwesoma si kwesoma 2012 nali akavuga moroka nya gazo nankadde nzali nali akavuga moroka nya akayongeza kali kankozeke emikolo 2012 awo kuba actually akayongeza nakola 2012 ngaggwako nenkavuga all the way through 2013 mu 2013 mutwagendere Gombe waba Bobby Muganda we area graduating nze namuwe ebyuma akayongeza naina akakasi bayingire kafuwa Muganda wa Bobby we nanzi bisa amafuta nga Muganda we yagabba bawa yawa Muganda we sente zogula amafuta ekidomola kiramba Muganda we naleta lita 10 sabo ne bajja ne bangamba Arthur wabbya amafuta tunulira gayi nti Arthur, do you charge more for inspection for a person who is a VVP? I don't charge. For me it's a privilege. Brian Emma, I don't. One thing you need to understand is that if you're ebitala biri ebitala byawali byaguddu mukama katonda ebitala kino tulaga wali eri maaso nti tugize tekiriiwo. Brian Emma, I don't charge more for VVP. A VVIP, very person. If it doesn't matter who you are, as long as it's one day, as long as your budget is right, me I charge the same money, 450. But if you are going to brand new cars don't really need inspection because they have a warranty of 100,000 kilometers. But these other cars you need to do inspection, guys. But the inspection fee lasts for one day. Which take it. I remember someone who was selling the GDI and they bought some spray to use to reduce the black smoke. The car was emitting from the exhaust pipe. Sellers will do anything to cover up damage. Abana batege motoka bana guys. Esawa ya eweze lero ngenda basi kuranga tukyali mu kubo. Mbeka ate byen sortinga muko. Nenga, thank you very much. I know that ebitala byabuze kitala kyawali bakibye. Kyo bachi nesi subira nti bakibikira kakyagudde. Wabwe ebintu ebizimu byokumba newo bamubbi munene otya kati David ku neighbor wange kati tugende ekitala kya traffic light kizibu kyakubba okikwekawa. So I'm thinking kyabadde nekiraka kyagudde ne bakitwala oba se ekyo nga bakitutte kikanika naye baali baddengayo ne spare nga bajjawo ekyo bateekawo ekirala baali baddenga babeera ne spares. So anyway guys, that's today's broadcast. I know that it has enlightened you a little bit. One thing you need to understand, Council Patrick told us that the law of sale of goods and service delivery of service says that once you buy something, it passes on to you, and the risks that are associated with you owning it also the moment you take it out of the parking lot, yakuguzizza kitegeeza it becomes yours oba oyagala oba toyagala ne risks ezirimu kitegeeza kasitovu ge mmotoka oba ogiguze wa bakuli oba nakawa oba ku pine the moment you drive that car out of the bond gwe kasita ogifulumya the risk has passed on to you ni bwekuba owa bond takusasula abantu bange lwaki sibasiibula ekyo netukita kamba siibuli olunaku ate tubalagane abalina ebibuuzo byonna byanca lwakutaano ebibuuzo kati sikyabiddamu ddala biddamu lwakutaano lwokka which is question Friday. But thank you very much for being part of the broadcast. I don't take it for granted. Kale kamba siibule Muyombya Mark, Antonio Random Things, Tusime Eddie, Kavuma Farouk, Morad K Momo, Nathan 256, Oza Mosantu, Paul Sema VIP, Antonio Random Things VIP, Council Patrick Asiku, Nathan 256, Mugalasi Joshua Mix Farm, Adrian Mugerwa, Muchunguzi, Gerald. Mane Council Patrick Asiku has been very helpful for us today. Atuyambe kukutegerete eryo. Nathan, Benatza, Brishay Kakai, Heath Moses. Mwebale kubera ku broadcast namwe abali mukamoli mwebale nyo kubera ku broadcast. Football Tribe, Sebugwao Medi, Jerome, Kungu Payas, Balvids, Edwin Mugerwa, Viola Namiro, Chintu Mark, Omni Wandiambi. Bana mwebale kubera ku broadcast. Mwebale kubera ko Gideon Opaye. Yes, thank you very much for being part of the broadcast. Toddy Ronald, Mikel UG, MK Dental Hub, Murunji Nathan, Jones Info, Africa Carota, Proud Catholic, Brian Emma, mwebale muloza no sibamaze Chris Fitness UG bana mugende ku channel ya Chris Fitness mu abagala okusala embuto abagala okukola obunyama mugende ku channel ya Chris Fitness abalago obukodiyo Chris Fitness yankozesa mu ko wano nga akomyewe Kampala nankozesa nempulira nga mbeera nkoyi nintandika omwekweka naye kati Chris Fitness nkusobola I can manage you amaanyi nyinamu kati of course kagaske simanyi oba nkyayina nnyo naye amaanyi gompeza bana imwe bali nnyo kubeera ku broadcast. Football Tribe, Valerian Serunkuma, Nsereko Stash, Saith Kagaba, Samuel Okiria. Bana imwe bali kubeera ku broadcast muloza sibamaze eyo nno. Brian Wanyama, anti super custom bobo chusa super custom tojiza buza ku manyo tegekawo n'akasente kagenda okugula engine ya 5L oba 3L okitegeera kyandibadde kirungi emmotoka eyo bw'ogigula super custom ng'eyo ogitekemu engine eri low maintenance nga 3L oba 5L. Those engines are very easier to maintain than the KZ. Mr. Arthur, you didn't read my question. Nathan, the questions are for tomorrow. But guys, I wish you a very lovely day. Thank you very much for being part of the broadcast. Don't forget to tell people that I do pre-purchase inspection at only 450,000 a day. Yeah, in the Kampala Central Business District. But tusuka Kampala CBD. Awuyongera yakasente. Mukama bawo mukisa. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Ciao.